All right, so today we're diving into something a bit different.
Oh,
Faith-based group travel.
interesting.
I know, not your typical vacation, right?
Yeah.
But trust me, this deep dive into Indus Travels and their whole approach to these like pilgrimages, it's pretty eye-opening.
Yeah, a lot of people don't really think about how complex it is to plan these kinds of trips. It's so much more than just booking flights and hotels. It's about crafting a journey that really resonates with a group's faith
Yeah,
and enhances their spiritual understanding.
exactly. And that's where Indus Travels really seems to excel. We're using their faith-based group travel guide for this deep dive.
Okay.
And it's basically like a blueprint for creating these meaningful and transformative pilgrimages.
I see. So right off the bat,
Yeah.
their mission statement kind of sets the tone.
Oh, how so?
Well, they say, to provide you and your pilgrims with a customized religious group travel experience that is professionally organized and, at the same time, highly responsive to the spiritual intentions of your journey, so that you and your pilgrims return home deeply enriched in body and soul.
Wow, that's quite a statement.
Right.
It's one thing to say, hey, we offer customized tours, but it's another to explicitly acknowledge the spiritual intentions of the journey,
I think it really speaks to their understanding that for many people, a pilgrimage is like a
Yeah.
deeply personal and significant undertaking.
Mhm.
It's not just about sightseeing. It's about connecting with one's faith on
Yeah.
a profound level.
And that's reflected in their emphasis on customization,
Oh, yeah.
which they talk about a lot in the guide.
Hold on, though. Before we get too deep into the whole customization thing,
Okay.
I have a question. You mentioned pilgrims.
Yeah.
Do you think that word might alienate some potential travelers?
Oh, interesting point.
Is there maybe a more inclusive way to think about
Yeah.
these faith-based group tours?
You're right. Pilgrimage often evokes images of these long and arduous journeys,
Yeah.
perhaps even with a bit of suffering involved. Maybe something like faith journey or spiritual exploration would resonate better with a wider audience.
Yeah, exactly. It kind of broadens the appeal without diminishing the spiritual significance.
Exactly.
I like that.
Okay, so back to customization.
Okay.
Indus Travels highlights something they call volume leverage.
Oh,
Basically, they're saying they're big enough to get discounts,
okay.
but small enough to give personalized attention.
That's a tough balance to strike.
Yeah.
I'm a little skeptical. How do we know they actually deliver on that?
Well, they do go on to explain that they work closely with group leaders
Okay.
to design these itineraries that meet the specific needs and interests of their group.
Right.
They even offer assistance with marketing,
Oh,
financing, and logistics.
that's interesting. Imagine if you were leading a group.
Yeah.
Taking all those logistical burdens off your shoulders would free up so much mental and emotional energy to focus on the spiritual preparation of your group.
Oh, for sure.
That itself could be transformative.
Totally. Instead of getting bogged down in spreadsheets and payment reminders, you could be having these meaningful conversations with your group about their faith, and the significance of the sites they'll be visiting.
Exactly.
It shifts the focus from the mundane
Right.
to the meaningful.
I like it.
The guide also mentions that they have a lot of experience in the field of religious travel.
Okay.
They've been doing this since 2001,
Wow.
and over 80% of their clients are either repeat customers or referrals.
That's impressive.
Yeah, it suggests they're delivering on their promises and exceeding expectations.
Yeah.
So it seems like they get the importance of customizing the experience
Right.
and providing that support to group leaders.
Yeah.
But what about the actual content of these tours?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do they make sure the itinerary is not just a list of destinations, but a truly enriching spiritual journey?
Let's dive into that.
Okay.
They specifically emphasize creating opportunities for daily devotions,
Okay.
worship services, or even mass,
Got it. Yeah.
depending on the group's faith tradition.
Makes sense.
They even suggest incorporating these activities at meaningful sites,
Oh, wow.
like sharing communion in the garden tomb or
Oh.
holding mass near the Jordan River.
That's powerful imagery.
Yeah.
Really highlights the potential for these profound spiritual experiences within a tour.
And it ties back to their sensitivity to the spiritual intentions of the journey, right?
Yeah.
It's not just about ticking off landmarks. It's about creating moments that resonate with the soul.
Absolutely. And they even mentioned that they can arrange meetings with local communities
Oh, really?
or church representatives.
Interesting.
Adds another layer of depth.
Imagine connecting with people of the same faith.
Yeah, but in a completely different cultural context.
Right.
What kind of insights and shared experiences might come from those encounters?
I think that's a perfect place to transition to the next part of our deep dive.
Okay.
Let's take a closer look at how Indus Travels actually works with group leaders
Yeah.
to create these unique and meaningful itineraries.
Sounds good. So we were talking about how Indus Travels works with those group leaders.
Yeah.
It's not just like handing them a prepackaged tour.
Right.
It's a real partnership.
The guide really emphasizes that collaborative approach.
Mm-hmm.
They break the process down into these clear steps,
Okay.
starting with customizing the itinerary.
And that's where their understanding of, faith-based travel really shines through.
For sure.
They encourage leaders to think beyond the typical tourist sites.
Yeah.
And consider places that might hold like special meaning
Right.
for their specific group.
Like, for example, if you were leading a group of Baptists who are really into the history of their denomination, you might want to visit sites related to early Baptist leaders or key events in the development of Baptist theology, right?
Exactly. Creating an itinerary that aligns with the group's spiritual goals and interests.
It makes sense.
And Indus Travels knows that group leaders aren't always marketing experts.
Right.
So they offer help with promoting the trip.
Right.
They suggest a timeline of about 14 months.
14 months.
Yeah.
That seems like a lot.
To me, too, at first.
Yeah.
But think about it from the perspective of, someone leading a faith-based tour.
Right.
These trips often involve a pretty big financial investment and a deep personal commitment from everyone going.
That's true.
So that longer lead time allows for more thoughtful planning and preparation.
Makes sense.
Both logistically and spiritually, right?
I see your point. It gives people time to save up, to think about why they're going, and to build excitement within the group.
Exactly. And on the practical side,
Yeah.
having that extra time can be really crucial for getting flights, accommodations, and even special permits for certain sites,
Right.
especially with a large group.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And speaking of finances, I was really impressed by how Indus Travels handles the money part of these trips.
Oh, yeah.
They take care of all the invoicing and collections.
Wow, that's a big help.
It is, for the group leader, for sure.
Have you ever had to, collect money from friends for a group trip?
Oh, it can be so awkward.
Yeah, Indus Travels takes that burden off the leader's shoulders,
Right.
which saves time and hassle,
Mm,
but also, I think, helps maintain those relationships within the group.
totally. Plus, they even provide travel accessories like luggage tags and document holders.
Really?
Yeah, it's those little details that can really make a difference
Absolutely.
in creating a smooth and enjoyable travel experience.
For sure, and let's not forget about connecting with those local communities.
Right, right.
Indus Travels can arrange meetings with, local faith leaders,
Yeah.
or even chances to worship with local congregations.
That's such a valuable part of these trips.
Yeah.
It goes beyond just sightseeing and lets the group actually experience their faith in a new cultural context.
And those cross-cultural exchanges can be so enriching.
Yeah.
Fostering understanding and appreciation for the diversity within a shared faith tradition.
Totally.
It's amazing.
So we've talked about how Indus Travels works with group leaders, but I'm kind of curious about some of the more specific tips and advice they give in the guide.
Okay.
Let's get into those details.
Sounds good. They cover a wide range of topics.
Yeah.
From choosing the right destination to, handling money overseas.
I was really struck by their discussion of the 7 factors that affect the price of a pilgrimage.
Oh, yeah, that's important.
It's helpful for groups to understand those variables,
Yeah.
how they impact the cost.
It empowers group leaders to make informed decisions.
Exactly.
They highlight the trade-offs between traveling during peak season versus the shoulder season. Yeah.
Traveling during the off-season might be cheaper,
Yeah.
but you could miss out on certain events or experiences.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
And they even talk about earning free trips.
Oh, wow.
I'm really curious about how that works.
Basically, they offer incentives for group leaders who recruit enough participants.
Oh, okay.
It's a win-win.
Right.
The leader gets rewarded,
Yeah.
and Indus Travels gets a bigger group, which can sometimes lead to better pricing for everyone.
That's a clever approach.
It is.
It incentivizes group leaders to promote the trip
Mm-hmm.
while also making these pilgrimages more accessible.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's all about making these transformative experiences available to as many people as possible.
I'm realizing that faith-based group travel is a lot more nuanced, complex than I initially thought.
Yeah, I'm starting to see how these trips can be so much more than just vacations.
For sure.
They offer the potential for, deep personal growth, spiritual exploration, and meaningful connections with others. We've covered a lot here.
Yeah.
Let's take a moment to reflect.
Oh, okay.
Before we move on to our final thoughts
Sounds good.
about Indus Travels and their unique approach to faith-based group travel.
What stands out to you the most?
That's a good question. Yeah, it's really remarkable.
It is.
How much depth there is to faith-based group travel.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just about sightseeing. It's about creating a transformative experience.
For sure. For everyone involved.
And Indus Travels clearly understands this.
Yeah.
So, as we wrap up this deep dive, what are the key takeaways here? What makes Indus Travels stand out?
I think their commitment to customization is huge.
Yeah.
They work directly with those group leaders to craft these itineraries that really cater to the unique needs and spiritual goals of each group.
It's not a one-size-fits-all approach?
Not at all.
And the level of support they provide?
Oh, yeah.
It's above and beyond
Yes.
what you'd expect from a typical tour operator. From marketing and financial assistance to all the logistics, even the little travel accessories.
They handle it all,
Yeah.
which really lets the group leaders focus on what matters on the spiritual preparation and the well-being of their group.
They can be more present with their fellow travelers.
Exactly.
Rather than getting bogged down in the logistics.
I think their experience in religious travel also really makes a difference.
Yeah, they've been doing this for over 2 decades.
Wow.
Their knowledge of the destinations, the logistics, and all the sensitivities involved is so valuable.
It allows them to create these itineraries that go deeper.
Right, like those opportunities for spiritual growth and reflection.
Exactly, like the shared prayer or worship at those significant sites.
And we can't forget about connecting with local communities and faith leaders.
That's so important.
Those cross-cultural encounters are incredibly enriching.
Yeah, they broaden perspectives and foster a deeper understanding of one's faith.
It's about creating those aha moments that stick with you long after the trip is over.
For sure.
So if anyone's thinking about leading a faith-based group tour, or even just participating in one, Indus Travels is definitely worth a look.
Definitely.
Their faith-based group travel guide is a fantastic resource. Packed with advice and tips.
It is, and their approach raises a good question. What kind of spiritual journey do you want to create?
That is a good question.
What destinations resonate with you? What experiences would deepen your understanding of your faith?
It's about connecting your travel goals with your spiritual aspirations.
Exactly.
If Indus Travels aligns with that vision, definitely reach out to them.
They're passionate about what they do. And dedicated to crafting those transformative travel experiences.
Absolutely. So whether you're drawn to walking in the footsteps of ancient prophets, connecting with fellow believers across cultures, or just deepening your own spiritual practice in a new setting.
There's a whole world of faith-based travel waiting to be explored.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of faith-based group travel with Indus Travels.
It's been a pleasure.
It's been a fascinating journey. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning,
keep seeking,
and keep seeking those experiences that nourish your soul.